For Manchester United, it's a parallel position to the one that Liverpool found themselves in when they walked out here at Wembley in 1977. The Championship already secure, the European Cup final 4 days ahead, the middle leg of a possible treble, an FA Cup final against the club beaten at Wembley the year before. 22 years ago, that team was Manchester United, who under Tommy Docherty beat Liverpool on the day. Today it's Newcastle United, who haven't won a major trophy for 30 years. But there is one marked difference. Liverpool then had never achieved the League and Cup double. Today, Alex Ferguson's side are tilting at that particular landmark for the 3rd time in just 6 seasons. Newcastle supporters getting the Wembley feeling for the 2nd year running. And the Manchester United fans, at this stage, dreaming of an unprecedented treble. Ferguson starts without Jaap Stam, fit enough only to be on the bench. So David May is at centre-back and Phil Neville is at left-back for the suspended Dennis Irwin. The surprise is up front, where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer starts ahead of Dwight Yorke alongside Andy Cole. Steve Harper keeps his place in goal for Newcastle, and Laurent Charvet, out with a knee injury since the semi-final, returns alongside Dabizas. It's a multinational outfit with Norberto Solano, the first Peruvian to play in the FA Cup final, German Dietmar Hamann playing at Wembley for the first time, and the Georgian Temuri Ketsbaia starting as partner to Alan Shearer. Duncan Ferguson is on the bench. Final of the century. And he left his dressing room having just played a recording of Desmond Lynam's World Cup rendering of Rudyard Kipling's poem If, to lift him and his 2 assistants, Phil Sharp of St Albans and Dave Babsky of Scunthorpe. And the 2 coaches settle down to a match that could be full of ifs and buts. Long kick by Harper, Shearer's underneath it. Dieter Harman in midfield for Newcastle to Lee, now Speed. Roy Keane got the first meaningful challenge in. This is Dabizas. Solano on the left for Newcastle and Beckham on the right for Manchester United. This is Didier Domi from left back. Solano, Shearer just inside him. Lee, chance of the first shot, comes off David May, and a shove surely by Ketsbaia. Mark Lawrenson.
I think the key to the game, John, for me would rely on the midfield area. Certainly Keane and Scholes versus Harman and Speed. I think the lifeblood of both of the sides, and whoever dominates that area will win the game today.
They'll definitely be giving all they've got today. Harman to Lee. Andy Griffin at right back. Ketsbaia. And Shearer in pursuit here.
Roy Keane's got a problem straight away, John. He's limping badly. It was a tackle by Speed who caught him in midfield. Looks like his left ankle, as Keane was waiting to play the ball. It's a great tackle by Speed, but he's caught the man as well.
So the Manchester United captain hobbling inside 3 minutes. Michael scrambling a bit.
That's the power of Shearer with the header, and well struck volley by Solano, but Schmeichel always making the save comfortable.
Here's Giggs. Contribution of their captain in midfield.
Well, if Keane has to go off without Nicky Butt as well on the subs bench, it's a reorganisation for Manchester United. That can only lift the hearts, I think, of Newcastle.
That was the challenge by Gary Speed. And Manchester United are preparing Teddy Sheringham for action. This is going to be some reshuffle, because Roy Keane's cup final lasted less than 3 minutes. Suspended, of course, from the European game on Wednesday. What a disappointment. It's his 5th FA Cup final, but he's having to walk off. It's already over.
I think it would be fair to say he's not had the best of weeks, John, apart from last Sunday.
Absolutely not. And this just about puts the cap on it. Giggs has gone across to receive instructions from the manager. Sheringham comes on. But clearly Alec Ferguson, without Nicky Butt on the bench, has got a tricky one here to sort out in midfield. And
I think what he's going to do, Beckham will play central, Solskjaer will come and play on the right-hand side of midfield, and Sheringham will play up front.
half clearance only finds Solskjaer. What a shaker for Roy Keane. So the team chasing the double, indeed the treble, lose their captain almost as soon as the game started. Here's Scholes. This is David May. Cole shook off two opponents well. Sheringham, who's just come on. Little ball inside to Scholes. Sheringham goes again and scores! Oh, would you believe it? He's only been on the pitch a minute and he's put Manchester United in the lead. It's Teddy Sheringham. 10 minutes gone in the cup final and the league champions are in front, courtesy of a player who would never have expected to be on the pitch at this stage.
Well, there's a superb little ball in, I think, eventually that comes from Paul Scholes. The build-up, Sheringham initially involved in the build-up. Little 1-2 as well. What a superb ball by Scholes. And really Sheringham unerring in his shooting.
Defender and goalkeeper didn't get to him quickly enough, and he steered it between both of them. Newcastle beaten here last year, a goal behind again. Well, what a moment for Teddy Sheringham. Nice little ball back again to Neville. Solskjaer's up. Oh! It just required another touch. Here's Giggs. Inside to Sheringham. And Gary Speed having to work away in his own penalty area there. Headed back in by Beckham. Solskjaer. Andy Cole, surely! Hooked away from near the line by Dabizas. If Cole had got weight on that, it would have been 2-0. Newcastle were all over the place. And Manchester United still have the ball with Beckham. Giggs. Speed now. Ketsbaia makes an early run. And so too inside him to Solano. Still Ketsbaia. Others are joining now. Harman. Speed. But no action by Ruud Gullit at the start of the second half. And the man Ferguson has replaced is Dieter Harman, who was on a yellow card. And Ketsbaia looks as though he's dropped into midfield to let Shearer and Ferguson play up front. So Manchester United, as things stand, 45 minutes away from the League and FA Cup double for the third time in 6 seasons. Ferguson and Solano to the left, but it went in between them. That's a very promising run. Lee suddenly got hold of the game in midfield for Newcastle early in the second half. This is Ketsbaia. Ryan Giggs looking for Andy Cole. He's shaken off Charvet all too easily, and in the middle is Sheringham with Solskjaer coming in far side, and Cole couldn't quite find Sheringham. Dabizas intercepted. With his central defensive partner Charvet way out of position. Solano. Ferguson. Domi has gone up on the far side. In space. Ferguson and Shearer wait in the middle. Solano goes to join them. And it comes off Gary Neville for a corner to Newcastle. Now then, they're expecting Duncan Ferguson to have a say on these. Right on the post. Charvet has gone across into the 6-yard box as well. Shearer at the back of it. Dabizas is there. And they've worked that well, but Gary Neville heads clear. Corner played between Ketsbaia and Solano. Here's Solano again. And still Ferguson waits in the middle. Appeals by the crowd for handball against Gary Neville, but not by the players. Domi. And Ferguson, and Shearer, can he give it back to Ferguson? Oh, if he had, there was a real shooting chance there. It's all with Newcastle at the moment. Griffin. But they've given it away now. And it's Solskjaer looking for Giggs. Dabizas across. Not a good clearance. Solskjaer. And Sheringham. And set up for Paul Scholes. And Manchester United go 2-0 up. Paul Scholes. And just as in the first half, Newcastle seemed to have an early territorial advantage, but then it all went wrong. It's Dabizas with a poor ball, really. Solskjaer won it well. It was set up by none other than Teddy Sheringham, and Scholes whipped that in.
Well, the weight of the pass from Sheringham as well, John, just invited Scholes to come and hit it left foot. He just returned the compliment for the goal in the first half with the Scholes pass into Sheringham, and it was a real sucker punch again for Newcastle, but poor defensive play. Instead of knocking it into the stand, they tried to play their way out of trouble, and it's cost them a second goal.
8 minutes gone in the second half of the FA Cup final, and the league champions are 2-0 up. And Paul Scholes, who on his last appearance here at Wembley scored a hat-trick for England against Poland, is on the mark again. You felt there would be a performance from him. He can't play on Wednesday in the European Cup final. Scholes, like Keane, he's suspended, and now a collision between Beckham and Lee. David Beckham is the player receiving attention for a cut, I think, by the nose. Dwight York, left out of the original starting lineup, looks as though he will have a part to play. Alec Ferguson shuffling his troops around as Dabizas comes forward for Newcastle. This is Ketsbayer, and he's looking here for Rob Lee. Well collected by Andy Griffin. It needs a good cross. Shearer's waiting, Ferguson's waiting. Shearer! Schmeichel didn't make it. Ketsbayer! Ketsbayer! Off the line by David May. Great cover with Schmeichel nowhere. Solano. Ketsbayer there must have felt he was going to put Newcastle back in the game. Schmeichel has lost that, and he's gone round him. And there, against the post, in fact. Big cheer for Alec Ferguson, who went to retrieve the ball with a nifty piece of footwork.
I'm not sure about his first touch, John.
Well, I have to say, when the teams arrived at Wembley, Manchester United were significantly more relaxed than Newcastle looked. Alec Ferguson, I've never seen him in quite such a good mood before a game. Helping to take mascots on and off the pitch. And down the tunnel now then, it's a corner to his side to be taken by Beckham, with David May poised as well. In goes Sheringham. This is Scholes. Swings it the other side to Giggs. And still Ryan Giggs. It's a good cross. Oh, and Dwight York, who's just come on, nearly did in the second half what Teddy Sheringham did in the first. And scored with his first significant touch. It's Giggs here who whips in a terrific cross. And York, oh, look at the marking mark.
Well, there wasn't any, John. It was Shaw there yet again, being sucked in, ball watching, sucked underneath the ball, and there was York. If anything, he probably jumped slightly too early.
May to Giggs. Now then, good running by Beckham from midfield here. That was York who got the touch onto him. Sheringham's there as well. Solskjaer, the player furthest over on the right. Here's Neville, Phil Neville. Manchester United picking their passes for the moment. That was York trying to find Sheringham. Beckham does find Giggs. And now Phil Neville. Newcastle can't get the ball. Phil Neville again. Beckham. That's seeking out Dwight York on the far side. This is York. Oh, tucked into Scholes. Paul Scholes again. That took a deflection, it's a corner. Sheringham with a little lob. Oh, it hit the bar. A delightful, delicate chip from Teddy Sheringham. That would have really put the seal on a great personal performance and on Manchester United's domination. It was a good move initially from Giggs, Mark.
Yeah, marvellous the way he runs at people, well balanced. Sure, Sheringham, and fantastic vision, just the slightest dink over Harper, who was stranded.
Rude Hullet, victorious here 2 years ago with Chelsea. This is Sheringham. Oh, I was going to say he's been pulled down. It's not been given. Play goes on. Looked like a bit of a trip by Dabizas, but it's Ferguson at the other end for Newcastle. He's got Maric up with him here. Stam tries to get there. Maric does. Silvio Maric. Oh, he's put it wide. The best chance of the game, surely, for Newcastle. With 8 minutes to go, and no wonder they hold their heads. They won't get a better opportunity than this, and it's Duncan Ferguson who's really battling there, which causes Jaap Stam and then May to make mistakes, and Maric slides it wide.
Well, it was undoubtedly the best opportunity. Persistence, really. Did well with his first touch, Maric. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, but just failed to hit the target.
Well, that might act as a little warning to the champions. If there'd been a goal then, Newcastle would have had 8 minutes to save the cup final. And now Griffin. Ferguson and Shearer wait. Still Andy Griffin. Did well there. Schmeichel. Did he get a hand to it? Referee says, yes, it's a corner. In fact, David May congratulated Schmeichel, which rather gave the game away. But it's a corner to Newcastle here. Is there something for them right at the last? They're all piling forward. Domi, Dabizas, Charvet. There's Dabizas. And back in, but only to Schmeichel. Down the clock to their third League and FA Cup double. They used to say it couldn't be done, but Manchester United have completed the Championship and FA Cup double for the third time in just 6 years. Alec Ferguson, once again, a trophy winner. His 11th major prize with Manchester United, who now, full of confidence, go to Barcelona to play Bayern Munich and attempt to win the European Cup and achieve the treble, which has never been done before. Newcastle are left crestfallen for the second year running. Beaten as they were by Arsenal by a goal in each half. Despite the loss of Roy Keane today in the opening minutes, Teddy Sheringham came on, and what an impact he made, and what a game he had. Manchester United win the League and Cup double for the third time in the space of 6 seasons. And no club has won it 3 times before. Now they're thinking of another treble. They're thinking of Europe and Wednesday and Barcelona and the Champions final against Bayern Munich. Alec Ferguson's record at Manchester United. Indeed, it's all happened really in the last 9 years since he won here against Crystal Palace. 5 championships, 4 FA Cups, 1 League Cup and a European trophy, and maybe the biggest of all still to come.
Well, Alex, congratulations on winning the double. Was the victory ever in any doubt?
I think once we scored, I don't think it entirely settled us, but it meant we were going to be very difficult to beat. It was a good start.
When Roy Keane got injured so early in the game, did that unsettle you at all?
We had to consider what was the best substitution. Yes, for Blancos, who could just replace and put Ryan Giggs on the other side, wide right, or play Ryan Giggs in centre. But I felt that with Teddy, he brings good control of the game. He's got a good physical presence, and with Solskjaer, Cole and Sheringham, you're hoping that one of them's going to score.
It's hard enough coming on as sub anyway, but to come on at, what was it, 6 minutes I come on after? I don't know, I didn't have a bit of chance to think about it. You know, I knew I was going to come on at some stage. The manager made that quite clear. But to come on after 6 minutes, you're just thrown in. It's as if you're playing from the start. So there's plenty of time to get involved in the game and plenty of time to get accustomed to the pace.
I was struggling with my right ankle anyway, and then to be fair, I went over on my left one, and there's no way I could have carried on. I know you give it a 1 or 2 minutes, but I knew straight away I was struggling, to be honest, as you would have guessed from my next touch.
I think we've made vital mistakes on the moment we had the game in hand, and it cost you against a quality team. And in the end, you must be happy that it was only 2-0. Still, you get some little chances, and one great chance. If you make that, then there's still 10 minutes to go, and then I like to see it. But I think, overall they have a quality team, and you don't have to be ashamed to lose against a team like this.
To lift the